Welcome to Southern Miss TV. I'm Logan Maxwell.
And I'm Sariah Bonds. International Education Week gave Southern Miss students a taste of studying abroad.
Mental health on campus remains a top priority, and the USM Behavioral Health Clinic has advice for students approaching the end of the semester.
Emmy Award-winning band Time for Three discusses their origins and advice for aspiring musicians.
All of this and more today on Southern Miss TV. USM's Office of Study Abroad hosted its annual International Education Week, November 8th through the 12th. Featuring exciting events and international cuisine, the week gave international students a chance to share their cultures while promoting the study abroad programs on campus. Southern Miss TV reporter Garrett Grove has the story.
Last week, the Study Abroad Office at the University of Southern Mississippi successfully launched their annual International Education Week. It was jam-packed with many events, including a cultural and diversity fair to start things off. Ann Nguyen was in that fair and taught others about her home country of Vietnam.
I think this event have a lot of international students, so we can know about another country, about their culture, about their country. They have a lot of new things to learn.
Nguyen is a student within the English Language Institute at USM, which teaches international students fluency in English. Casey Cole is the assistant director for the English Language Institute. She knows all 13 students in the program currently and says that Monday's event was very beneficial for her students.
So many of our students are often self-conscious when it comes to speaking English, and so to put them in this scenario where they get a chance to brag on their country and their culture and share that, it really brought out a lot of personality that we don't necessarily see in the classroom, which was really fun to watch. I really enjoyed that.
Events this past Tuesday and Wednesday included a study abroad fair, a presentation on Haiti, a game night, a lunch and learn on the Gulf Park campus, a cricket match, and a movie night. Going into Thursday, an international food fest enticed students from 10:30 to 3:30 with food from other countries. Stations located within the Fresh included chicken Florentine pasta, jerk chicken with mango salsa, and more, enticing students to stand in long lines for food. Perhaps no line was longer than that for the crepe station, which was by far the most popular station of the day. A photo contest initiated by the USM Study Abroad Office teased the fashion show to occur later that evening. Students from other countries displayed their dress and crowd-pleasing skills for students in the USM community to see. One of the students in the talent show was Tishnata Kobaiti, who grew up on the Caribbean island of St. Martin. She enjoyed herself while on the runway and appreciated the focus put on international students during the week.
I was not even nervous. I was just having fun. I was just into it because it was so joyful, you know, like us international students, we are just together and we're having fun, and I just love it. I wish we could have, this day could be, you know, like everyday thing.
On Friday, the winner of the photo competition was announced, and USM Study Abroad Office had a live cooking show on their Instagram page. They featured Spanish cuisine with staples such as garlic mushrooms, as well as marinated dogfish. And because dogfish is not native to the great state of Mississippi, alligator was used instead. Reporting for SMTV, this is Garrett Grove.
If you're interested in learning more about the Office of Study Abroad, visit usm.edu/study-abroad.
Due to the stress of the COVID-19 pandemic, the rise of mental health concerns among college students has been immeasurable. From imposing due dates to stressful quarantines, tensions have been high while navigating life through this difficult time. The stress of classes can be overwhelming, and for many students it has negatively impacted their mental health. Some students may find themselves wanting to turn to a professional for help. Dr. Chrissy McRaney, the director of USM Behavioral Health Clinic, ran by the USM School of Psychology, gives us information on how students can get help if they are struggling.
I would say that in general, for students on our campus, we're actually very lucky to have student counseling services, because at any point a student can walk in without an appointment to student counseling services and get seen that day by a therapist.
The federal government declared that the state of Mississippi mental health deficit area. That means that across the state, there is a need for mental health providers. Because of this, telehealth is used more frequently to connect to healthcare providers. If the provider is licensed by the state of Mississippi, their services can be utilized. In addition to this, Dr. McRaney gives us more information about on-campus mental health resources for not just students, but the community as well.
Absolutely. So I will also mention that in addition to student counseling services, we have training clinics on our campus that serve not only our campus population, but also our community, and so that helps as well. So the USM Behavioral Health Clinic, the University Clinic for Family Therapy are options for both our students as well as our community at large.
Students can also download apps to help with managing stress and anxiety, such as meditation apps, sleep apps, and even self-affirmation apps. This year has been stressful on both students, faculty, staff, and their families. If you need to talk to a mental health care provider, contact USM Student Counseling Services during business hours at 601-266-4829 or the Behavioral Health Center at 601-266-4588.
After the break, join Time for Three and Darius McCormick in a discussion about the Emmy Award-winning band's origins, favorite performances, and advice for aspiring musicians.
And don't miss Austin Lindsay's SMTV Sports recap for everything Golden Eagle football, volleyball, and basketball.
We'll be back soon on Southern Miss TV.
I got my COVID-19 vaccination, and here's why. This isn't about gimmicks or sentiment or what commercial I like. This is about facts. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Millions of doses have already been given in the United States, and these vaccines have the most intensive safety monitoring in U.S. history. When you need more information, use a reliable source like the CDC website, and get the facts.
I'm Betsy Ivy, Executive Director of the United Way of the Pine Belt region. We're excited to announce a new Christmas event located in the back lot of downtown Laurel. The Prancer Path will be all aglow with Christmas trees decorated throughout the month of December. Families are invited to walk through the Prancer Path to see the trees and have their picture made with Santa. On December 10th, come down and enjoy a Christmas movie, Prancer. For more information, follow us on Facebook. And thank you to all of our sponsors for making this a special Christmas season.
Rogers Family Pharmacy believes in encouraging kids to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, the possible in the impossible. Because sometimes a toy broom isn't a toy at all. It's a rocket ship to the moon.
Melissa and Doug Toys are the #1 parent-recommended brand for learning. Come see us today for your child's perfect holiday gift. Happy holidays from all of us at Rogers Family Pharmacy, where we treat you like family.
USM might have been the last stop on Time for Three's 2021 U.S. tour, but just like Southern Miss, this trio of classically trained musicians is heading to the top. Southern Miss reporter Darius McCormick sat down with Nicholas Kendall, Charles Yang, and Renan Meyer to discuss Time for Three's origins and their advice for music students.
Hi, I'm Darius McCormick, and I'm here with award-winning band Time for Three. How are y'all doing today?
Very good. It's great to be here with you.
Good. So to start off, can y'all just introduce yourselves and tell us what your roles are in the group?
My name's Charles. I play violin and I sing.
My name's Renan Meyer, and my job is to irritate these guys as much as I can.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I also play bass and sing.
My name is Nick Kendall, and I'm their assistant. And
pretty good at it too.
And I'm a violinist and singer in the band.
It's all right.
So, Nick and Renan, you guys are founding members of the group.
That's right.
Can you tell me a little about the origins of the group?
Yeah, I mean, we've been at this for quite some time. I mean, I think so. Renan and I have been, just like anybody that's at a college or school, and you sort of align on really personal kind of connections on what you're doing there. And of course, for us, it was music. and we just sort of aligned in the way that we saw music and heard music in a different way than what our friends were doing at that time. So we were at a really kind of amazing classical music conservatory, but we just vehemently wanted to go off page all the time and just experiment. And we really bonded in that way, and sort of the internal spirit of what the band is now with Charles comes from those real amazing beginning times at school.
Charles, with your transition to the group, would you say it was seamless?
Oh man, it's still not seamless. No, we're definitely brothers here, and it was apparent from day one. You know, when we first got together to jam at Renan's house.
Yeah.
It was like Nick's saying, we have the same ideas, we have the same kind of outlook on musical life, and it's still going strong today. So, absolutely.
I still remember the first day that Charles came to rehearse with Time for Three, and I was fixated on poison ivy in my woods.
Yep, I remember that.
And I was just telling, because I had just gotten it, and I was telling Charles everything I knew about poison ivy. And he's like, wow, you are like an expert. You have like a PhD in poison ivy.
Yep. This was like in the first few minutes of getting together. Yeah. It's like we're so excited for Charles to come, and Charles goes off on poison ivy. This is the best thing.
Well, that's because it was that seamless. Like, we played for an hour, and we're like, well, this makes a lot of sense. And we're just
let's talk about poison ivy. Yeah, moving on. Poison ivy.
Would you guys say you have a certain performance that's as special to y'all as Poison Ivy is to him?
We should write a song called Poison Ivy.
We should. Yeah. What key? Yeah.
And how dangerous she is.
Oh, woo!
You know, E flat. I think that's the key. E flat minor.
It's gonna be in kind of like a 3/4, kind of with a lilt.
Sure,
yeah. Gonna be like,
because the poison ivy should be lilting.
I think we're driving, like, dome.
Yeah. Also, it's like, because it's a pest.
Yeah.
We're big nerds. Huge nerds.
Lots of clash.
What was the question?
I said, do you have like a specific performance that's really special to y'all?
Ah.
Like a performance like a live performance?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think, so the one thing that we have in common, even though within a certain genre, we are 3 distinct artists that kind of come from 3 different distinct backgrounds, right? But the one thing that really bonds us together is the fact that we all kind of grew, as we say, as humans, but also as artists through the genre known as classical music, right? So playing the great masterworks of the composers of the past and present. So that has really been a grounding mechanism for us, but all of us, Charles before he even knew Time for Three, so we're kind of like in parallel roads, we were leaping forward, wanting to just be, I think just by nature of who we were radical from the true nature, or the kind of how do I say, the depth of classical music. We appreciate it so much, but we just wanted to spring forward and do new things. And so when you ask the question, what performance is the most meaningful for us, I think it's tough, but I sort of think that a big moment for us was playing our music at Musikverein in Vienna. This is a venue that is super famous. You feel the magic when you walk in.
The Carnegie Hall of Europe.
The Carnegie Hall of Europe. And it's where a lot of those pieces that we studied were actually premiered. So like Brahms, like the Brahms symphonies were first heard there, and Mahler. So for us to like be accepted into that community and we're American, but to play our music was, I think meant a whole lot more than just the moment itself. And I think that I think is a reflection of a great achievement for us, I think, in a way.
When you're stepping on stage and performing at places like that, and even here at USM, what's going through y'all's mind? Like, what do you want the audience to grasp from your performances?
I mean, we get amped up before every show. No matter what kind of show, it could be Musikverein, Carnegie Hall or or a club, you know, it's the same kind of energy because we want to feel the audience. I mean, it's reciprocal, that kind of energy, just to pass it around, you know, and we're ready for that kind of friendly battle in a way, you know. And every time we walk on stage, it's different, you know. It's not, we don't really play. There's not one show that's been the same because we improvise and, you know, we play different things on stage, and it's always fun. You know, it's not a stressful thing. It's going in and just making great music with your brothers, and this time with some amazing musicians behind us tonight, with this incredible orchestra. So, yeah, that's. I think we're all kind of zoned in to each other right before a show. We always do we have to do this though. This is our.
And with our tour manager, Dave.
Yeah, with our tour manager. Otherwise, it's not going to be a good show.
Yeah.
So,
superstitious.
I did some research on y'all's master class. Could you explain that to the people watching?
Oh, you mean the master class from yesterday?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, well, that was
none.
It was nice because I got to hang out with my low end people, my double bass community. They're just it's like a warm hug, you know. People that play the double bass, you know, it's a big instrument. And, you know, typically speaking, there's a metaphor in my discipline, which is that you know, bass players pick the instrument because it's big enough to hide behind, you know. And although it sounds silly, there's a lot of truth to it because the bass in itself is a comfort. You know, it's like a cloud. You know, you're typically in the back of the orchestra, so there's a little less pressure. So there's a community and communal aspect that goes into it. And I just always feel that energy with other bass players. And, you know, it was like that yesterday. I mean, there was just like this total love for everyone, respect, you know, everyone just there to learn from one another. As soon as you give people the license to make their choices, there's just like such empowerment, which is a beautiful thing. Marcos, the bass professor here, he's got, you know, he's an extraordinary musician, he's a virtuoso, but like he's also, he's got the right goods as far as the attitude goes. You know, he includes his studio. It's not like a hierarchy type feeling, and we're just all there to learn. And, you know, in an environment like this, you know, what's better than that?
You know, we were discussing yesterday when we heard the dress rehearsal of the piece that the orchestra is going to play before us, Don Juan, one of the most incredible works ever written. And the orchestra is just nailing it. But the one thing that we just really took note of is how every musician, who are students here, but every musician we felt this appreciation for being there. And it was amazing to see the commitment by every student. Like, there was no one that's really passive. They all really wanted to be in that seat, and they loved playing that music. They loved the opportunity to be in this environment, and they showed us the love by saying how much they appreciated the spirit that we have, which is, I guess, we understand that it's unique when you're kind of in the trenches of learning the skills and the technicality. You're always looking to the people in front of you who can inspire a direction. So it was so amazing to have this appreciation for what we do by such committed and full-hearted souls that are part of this orchestra. It's really, really beautiful.
And we were sitting out in the audience too, and that's what's going to show with the audience, you know, like that passion, that what we watched out in a rehearsal out there, it's so important to have that when it's honest.
Yeah. You
see that honesty on stage, and of course they're going to do the same tonight with even more passion. The audience will feel that, you know, and that's what we kind of live our life motto, kind of like, you know, let's have fun.
And before we end this, what advice would y'all give to those students that y'all have been working with? What's one thing you would tell them?
Be creative. I mean, you know, like, just remember that, you know, hopefully you chose to play an instrument, and it was your choice. And that means, you know, everybody's working for you, you know, like really you're the boss. You're the boss of your life, and you should treat it like that. So, you know, there's an incredible amount of information out there. Use that as a resource. but make your own decisions and be confident in those decisions. Fall flat, get back up, and keep going. Because when you're empowering yourself, you're doing yourself and the rest of the world a service. We're lucky to have a manager that gave us a really cool quote, and he said, "Be yourself." Because authenticity is the most attractive quality, and if you believe in it, there's probably, considering there's billions of people out there in the universe, there's probably an audience for you.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be 1 billion people, but it's going to be at least enough to support a career. And I think a lot of it is just, courage.
Well, y'all heard it from here. Be creative. Thank y'all so much for y'all
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to y'all in the studio.
You can find Time for Three's music on every music streaming platform, including Spotify and Apple Music. If you're interested in learning more about the band and its projects, visit their website at tf3.com. When we return, Austin Lindsay gives us this week's rundown of Golden Eagle Sports and SMTV Sports Recap.
And Alicia Powell has Hattiesburg's Thanksgiving events in the community calendar. We'll be back with the news you need.
I'm optometrist and USM alum Dr. Katie Edwards announcing the opening of the new Green Eye and Midtown Optical in Midtown Hattiesburg near USM.
At Green Eye, we have a great selection of contact lenses and the latest in-style eyeglass frames, including environmental choices made from recycled ocean plastics. College students receive 10% off all self-pay services, eyeglasses, and contact lenses. Call to schedule your appointment today.
Southern Miss Student Media Center is proud to offer local businesses an opportunity to advertise on SM2 Digital Media, WUSM Radio, Southern Miss TV, and the student prints. Our in-house creative team is ready to produce your commercial or digital ad. Reach over 6,000 students and advertise your business on SM2 today. Give us a call today.
The weather might be cooling down, but Southern Miss sports are heating up.
And Austin Lindsay covers it all in the SMTV Sports Recap. How's it going, Austin?
Well, Logan, it could be better if you're a Southern Miss football fan. Another week, another loss. Southern Miss nearly beat number 15 UTSA without a starting quarterback, making this one of the most interesting games of this year. Frank Gore Jr. and Antavius Willis played quarterback for the majority of the game, but Southern Miss only passed the ball for 7 times throughout the night. When Gore left the field with an injury, Willis turned over the ball 3 straight times. UTSA capitalized, winning the game 27-17. The Lady Eagles basketball team hit the road on Wednesday, November the 17th to play the Crimson Tide of Alabama. The team kicked off its basketball season smoothly with a 2-0 record, taking down Louisiana Monroe 77-60 on November the 13th. I had an opportunity to cover the game.
The Lady Eagles would defeat the Lady Warhawks 77-60 after a strong push in the fourth quarter behind the helm of Southern Miss guard Dominic Davis.
Teammates, they get on me when they hold me to a high standard, and I hold myself to a high standard, but they tell me to go, I gotta go, and then just locking in, that was a big thing between the third and fourth quarter. We knew that we had to lock in, so that was with myself when I missed a couple easy ones, but that's just, details that we gotta focus in, and then just knowing we need a bucket or knowing we need something to flip the momentum, gotta go get it.
Davis finished the game with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. The game would be a scrappy one throughout as 57 fouls were called. After being close throughout the first 3 quarters, Southern Miss entered the fourth quarter up by just 2 at 55-53. The Lady Eagles would then erupt in the fourth quarter to outscore their opponent 22-7. Watch as Rose Warren hits a silky smooth floater in the fourth quarter as the Golden Eagles would lead by as many as 19 points in the quarter.
I think we went to the matchup zone, which created
havoc for them offensively. In turn, gave us opportunities to get things going offensively to the other end of the floor. I think that was the biggest difference. And again, we started running offense we hadn't really practiced.
Thanks, Austin.
Let's see what's happening across the Hub City this Thanksgiving with Alicia Powell. How's the community calendar looking, Alicia?
Well, Sariah, most of Hattiesburg is closing up shop for the holiday week, but there are still a few events across Hattiesburg to keep students entertained between dinner and dessert. Lewis Lights in Purvis, Mississippi celebrates its 32nd season this year, and if you're looking to kick the holidays off early, they'll be open Thursday, November 25th through Friday, December 31st from 5:30 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the twinkle of approximately 200,000 lights and over 300 handmade wooden displays while sipping hot cocoa and soaking in the holiday cheer. So grab some friends and family and experience this Mississippi classic. For more information, visit Lewis Lights on Facebook. Turkeys won't be the only thing on the chopping block this Thanksgiving weekend. The Clued Up app brings a Jack the Ripper themed murder mystery to Hattiesburg on Saturday, November 27th. If you think you have the investigative chops to catch a serial killer, you can put them to the test solving this fictional case. Gather your friends and scramble across town gathering clues, following leads, and tracking down the mysterious killer before he gets the chance to strike again. The outdoor event lasts between 2 and 3 hours, and prizes are awarded in 6 different categories, ranging from best dressed to the fastest team. Tickets cost $55 for a team of up to 6 players, and they can be purchased on cluedup.com. Back to you, Sariah.
Thanks, Alicia.
And thank you for joining us today. I'm Logan Maxwell.
And I'm Sariah Bonds. We'll see you next time on Southern Miss TV.
Thank you for watching SMTV News. Follow us on all our social media platforms for news, entertainment, sports, and more. At Southern Miss Student Media, our mission is to shape the future of our students. If you're good at what you do, you can work anywhere. If you're the best at what you can do, you can move mountains. Southern Miss offers you a degree. Southern Miss Student Media offers you experience. With a combination, you're undefeated. Join us at Southern Miss Student Media, and together we will lead you to a lasting career. Visit the Student Media Center today, College Hall 301.
In America, millions of people, including children, are facing hunger. I only have $10 in my checking account, but it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Donna from Washington. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Donna. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.